From Don Juan by Lord Byron, Canto 1. Naive and 16, Don Juan has started an affair with Julia, who's 23, and married to Don Alfonso, who's 50. By this time, Don Alfonso was arrived with torches, friends, and servants in great number. The major part of them had long been wived, and therefore paused not to disturb the slumber of any wicked woman who contrived by stealth her husband's temples to encumber. Examples of this kind are so contagious, were one not punished, all would be outrageous. Poor Donna Julia, starting as from sleep, lying that I do not say she had not slept, began at once to scream and yawn and weep. Her maid, Antonia, who was an adept, contrived to fling the bedclothes in a heap, as if she had just now from them outcrept. I can't tell why she would take all this trouble to prove her mistress had been sleeping double. Now Julia found at length a voice and cried, "In heaven's name, Don Alfonso, what do you mean? Has madness seized you? Would that I had died ere such a monster's victim I had been. What might this midnight violence betide? A sudden fit of drunkenness or spleen? Dare you suspect me, whom the thought would kill? Search then the room." Alfonso said, "I will." Under the bed they searched, and there they found no matter what. It was not what they sought. They opened windows, gazing if the ground had signs of footmarks, but the earth said not. And then they searched each other's faces round. 'Tis odd not one of all these seekers thought, and seems to me almost a sort of blunder, of looking in the bed as well as under. During this inquisition, Julia's tongue was not asleep. "You search and search," she cried, "insult on insult heap, and wrong on wrong. It was for this that I became a bride. For this in silence I have suffered long, a husband like Alfonso at my side. But now I'll bear no more, nor here remain, if there be law or lawyers in all Spain." After searching the room very thoroughly, Don Alfonso finds no evidence of his wife's lover. He stood in act to speak, or rather stammer, but sage Antonia caught him short before the amble of his speech received the hammer. "With, pray, sir, leave the room and say no more, or madam dies." Alfonso muttered, "Damn her." But nothing else, the time of words was o'er. He cast a rueful look or two, and did, he knew not wherefore, that which he was bid. Don Alfonso leaves her room. No sooner was it bolted than, oh shame, oh sin, oh sorrow, and oh womankind! How can you do such things and keep your fame, unless this world and to the other too be blind? Nothing so dear as an unfilched good name, but to proceed, for there is no more behind. With much heartfelt reluctance be it said, young Juan slipped, half smothered, from the bed. Don Juan prepares to leave, but must hide as Don Alfonso returns to apologize to his wife. Alfonso closed his speech and begged her pardon, which Julia half withheld and then half granted, and laid conditions he thought very hard on, denying several things he wanted. He stood like Adam lingering near his garden, with useless penitence perplexed and haunted, beseeching she no further would refuse, when lo, he stumbled o'er a pair of shoes. He left the room for his relinquished sword, and Julia instant to the closet flew. "Fly, Juan, fly, for heaven's sake! Not a word. The door is open. You may yet slip through the passage you so often have explored. Here is the garden key. Fly, fly, adieu! Haste, haste! I hear Alfonso's hurrying feet. Day has not broke. There's no one in the street." None can say that this was not good advice. The only mischief was, it came too late. All experienced 'tis the usual price, a sort of income tax laid on by fate. Juan had reached the room door in a trice, and might have gone so far as the garden gate, but met Alfonso in his dressing gown, who threatened death, so Juan knocked him down. Alfonso grappled to detain the foe, and Juan throttled him to get away, and blood, 'twas from the nose, began to flow. At last, as if they more faintly wrestling lay, Juan contrived to give an awkward blow, and then his only garment quite gave way. He fled like Joseph, leaving it, but there, I doubt, all likeness ends between the pair. It is pronounced Juan in the original poem and not Juan, which is a little bit